we were kind of exploring around. Didn't like, I don't think we discovered too much, but then it was like, oh, like everybody's cured. We've saved the day. We did it again, you know. And then we were leaving and we were like, oh, it might get rowdy out here. But instead, it got transactional. I don't know. A business deal was broached. There were some dwarves, some lovely bearded dwarves. Can't remember any of their names except for the Tunger Mama. Well, that they were the Tungers, but man, I can't remember their names. That's probably bad.
Lord and Lady will suffice for the
Lord and Lady. All
had
right.
to.
And then there was the daughter Tunger, and she had a hunger for a husband, fiance, a
Brildil.
betrothed. Brildil, yes. And her betrothed was gone. And basically, Lady Tunger was like, I fucking hate Underbarrow, aka Henry, and you motherfuckers have to help me fucking kill him at his wedding. And she gave us this stuff to use against him in a magical type context, which I'm gonna leave to Solas. And then she was like, I've been watching you for some time now. We were like, what? Like, no, no, no way. And then Isolde popped out from nowhere, just like a rift in the dimensions, just a fold of skin of the air. And there was, Isolde. And Isolde, as it turns out, is our major crossover lady, which was really cool. Um, and Isolde is like this badass spy informant who just pops out of thin air and gets the information she needs and pops back in again. Um, so yeah, so we were told that we were going to meet up with Isolde later. Then we were like, oh, what are we going to do in the city? Boo, boo, boo. And we decided to go shopping. Well, in my case, I guess picking up my dress. um, so I got my dress, which is freaking fantastic. Um, and then the guys got suits, except for I think Kabor got a bow tie, Sunny just got a bow tie, and Jem also got a bow tie, which was very cute. Um, from oh my goodness, my
I,
brain today.
I have to ask, did Kesu get one? Because that is vastly out of character.
I'm
Kesu
pretty
was at the
sure
hospital at this point.
Good. Gonna
Kesu was
say,
like straight up burning dead bodies like all
yeah,
day. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
makes
he wanted
sense.
to be doing. Yeah. Um,
I believe that the party briefly dropped by the hospital to see what you were up to. They got to the entrance of the courtyard and they just saw Kisu standing just staring at this massive pile of bodies burning.
That we're all on fire.
Yeah. And they were just like, well, he's good. Let's continue on.
yeah. So I guess we're gonna have to go back to get Kesu some bow ties too. Um,
He's not
but
taking
then
off the mask at all, though. He's just gonna
it's
walk
not.
in
Oh yeah.
like
Well,
just a little bow tie underneath a bone mask.
I hope you have a mask underneath your mask. 'Cause, oh my gosh, when we find out who you are. But anyways, ugh. Um, we went to the Broken Mast Inn. Makan the Devourer was there, eating out the whole restaurant. I think I remember that being said. Um, and uh, and we all went to sleep. Oh my gosh! And we all went to sleep, and we woke up, and there were invitations to the wedding. Straight up motherfucking invitations. And they each had our colloquial names on them. So, like, I was Ollie, Arazid was Arazid, Sunny was Sunny the Turtle, because I guess Sunny's a really popular name in this town, and they needed further specification. And there's one for Kesu too, which we are holding for him so that he doesn't, destroy it. Yeah, keep that in mind.
He
And
can't
then,
read. He would
yeah,
go in the burn pile.
Yeah, exactly. I think we just don't want anything to happen to it, for a while. Not until we get to the wedding. And then we met Isolde in an alleyway. And then, oh yeah, then I asked Isolde if she knew Vola, and she does. And Vola is, I think, an instructor at the Académie de l'Arcane. Um,
And
and
still insists on not using paper.
I don't. Oh yeah, yeah, she does still insist on not using paper. That was a big part of the conversation. Yeah. So Vola's still bullying it up, being kind of evil. So it's nice to know that some people don't change, unlike Ollie, who has grown emotionally, physically, and
Except
all
when
the
she
ways.
changes back into her normal self.
Oh, well, you can't change who you are. You can't change.
I'll
Yeah.
stop
So
making terrible
hopefully,
jokes now.
hopefully that covers it.
I believe at the end of the conversation you invited Isolde to the Broken Mast for a drink. And she
Oh yeah,
accepted,
she likes honey.
and that was where we ended it. Because I remember being super fucking hungry last session.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Had
man, how's
such a
that going?
Big ass pizza after that. It's great.
Oh, okay.
She accepts, and you all walk into the tavern. We will briefly touch back to Kesu first. You return to the hospital, Kesu, and you find that the cases have basically ended. Everyone either dies or gets better. You help to burn the bodies of those who have died. There was one person who accompanied you from the mine who was looking for his wife, who you may remember, and he finds his wife in the burn pile.
Oh.
You don't really interact with him, but Freya does spend some time consoling him as you go about your ministrations. And eventually, all the patients either leave or are returned to nature. And it seems that your most pressing work in the hospital is done.
So this would be kind of going on the previous day. Well, like basically what everything happened last time, correct? He's going to basically just tell Freya, take the day off. You've earned it, and he will just kind of vibe around the hospital cleaning, and kind of preparing. If anybody comes in, he'll treat them. But other than that, he's basically tells Freya, take a day off. You've been doing this for God's knows how long. It's time for you to go. I'm just gonna sit here and clean and vibe.
Nice. Yeah, she totters into the on-call room, and the door shuts and does not open for about 16 hours. But you can hear quite a deep snoring coming from the other side of the door. So that night in the hospital that you spend cleaning would be the night that the rest of the party spend at the Broken Mast Inn. And then fast forwards to the day that we're currently halfway through. Do you just continue to stay at the hospital administering?
Yeah, for the most part. I think once it reaches noon, he would kind of go, okay, things aren't insane anymore, and he would venture back towards the inn to find everyone.
Okay. You toddle along the street, rise up through the elevator, and eventually do indeed run into the rest of the party outside the tavern with a very cagey looking woman in a cloak.
Oh, you are gonna love the Broken Mast. Have you been in here before? Isolde, have you been to the Broken Mass before?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realise you were talking to me. I have, of course, been in here. Who do you think delivered your, invitations last night?
Okay, but there's coming in like a sneaky super secret agent, and then there's like coming in, having a sit, getting a little rowdy. Have you done that?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet, but gonna happen soon. Girl, we're gonna get you some grog.
Why don't you, show me how you, get rowdy? She walks
It would
over
be
to
my
the door
absolute
and
pleasure.
holds it open for the rest of you.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. Last time you got rowdy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wait a second, guys. How long until the wedding?
2 days. Well,
2 days?
A day and a half.
A day. Oh, yeah, you're right. I should probably limit myself. But we can get Isolde fucked up.
You can try.
Ooh. Kabor. Kabor.
It's nice to see you can finally join us, Medicine Man.
He just kind of silently just stares. Yes.
Kesu is not much of a talker. Oh, wait. Oh, he was going to talk. Whoop.
I've been busy cleaning up a mess. I do not know who caused it, but they will pay.
Oh, Kesu, I think if you look deep, you'll understand that it was your fate to clean up. Oh, wait, I know what you're talking about. And Isolde knows what you're talking about, too. She's very with it. She knows what's going on with us. We're like her celebrities. She's like our biggest fan, basically.
That is one way to put it.
I do not need such people. Only patience. He
You
goes
do need
in.
a lot of patience to deal with Ollie, I know.
Wait, how much do you know about me? Wait,
I know that you are much braver than your attitude would suggest, dear one.
Oh, that was actually really nice. Thank you.
I could have told you that about you. Grimsby, one grog, please. Grog for the table.
Isolde goes over to the bar. Grimsby is on the other side of it doing his normal pushing dirt around mugs routine. I am feeling generous. Why don't you find a table and I will get the first round. I'm assuming grog for all?
Sure, why not?
I would appreciate it.
Kesu shrugs and heads towards, I don't know, a table.
Sunny
Got
could
two
show her the
Sunnies.
drinking dance. I can't remember where Sunny is in this world, so I'm just going to assume he's here.
Y'all
Makes sense.
had tokens outside.
Don't have a chair I could borrow.
Did I?
Yeah, it's alright.
I
I
didn't
look.
the other one now. It's cool.
I'm just gonna scooch this chair over here. Oh, Sunny, you're in my way.
Isolde walks over
Oh,
to the table.
hey,
She
Solas.
takes
Here
a
is it.
look at the chairs and moves a few others over.
Oh, gosh.
Really?
It's cool, I got my... It's fine.
I'm glad we didn't have to fight
Kabor.
over the chairs because I definitely need one.
The waitress comes over, hands you all a mug of grog.
Whoa, is that Grimsby behind the bar?
Yes.
Dang, not how I imagined Grimsby looking.
And just blow that up
Mostly
to
how
you
I
guys.
imagined. Mostly how I imagined him, just replace the muscles with equally big arms.
Damn, what's the rule on NPCs having sex with playable characters? Cause fuck, dude.
Oh my gosh, I know.
It is, no. It is a straight no. Well, you could fade it to black at absolute, if you really must.
No, I know.
But yeah, I know, right?
That's gonna be a soundbite
bartender.
clip later.
Isolde grabs her mug, raises it, and is like, 2 alliances.
Sure.
Alliances. Clink.
2 alliances.
Then find alliances! Same thing.
She takes a big swig, and then just kind of looks at the rest of you expectantly.
Oh, Solas is already drinking.
It seems like she's looking for guidance on how one gets turned.
Oh, just
Let's see what
okay.
happens on his alcohol tolerances.
I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna go. Okay, I can help you. Start taking a drink.
She raises
And then
the mug to her
then-
lips.
I'm gonna grab the bottom of it and just keep tilting it up.
It begins to run down either side of her cheek.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Chug,
Trickling
chug,
down her
chug,
chin.
chug, 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 chug.
Not much really does escape. The mug, the liquid, is forced into Isolde, and she is just like.
Oh, you're a star. You're
Is
a
it
star,
meant
girl.
to taste like dirt?
Oh, that's just the extra flavor that Grimsby puts in from his arm sweat. He just I'll
As
present
soon as
her.
arm sweat is mentioned, Kesu pushes the what he has in front of him as far away as he can. He has yet to
and
touch it, and
Who's as
he's
far away as possible from Kesu? Ollie. I'm gonna snag that and go. Okay, that's fine. But I'm gonna present my moldy old robe to Isolde. Like, hey, you could wipe off your chin on this.
She regards your robe and then wipes her chin with the back of her hand.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna pick up Kesu's mug and be like, all right, well, that was just the starting round. I got the next one. And I'm gonna just start drinking. Drinking my grog.
So this is how adventurers find their fun.
Oh, I mean, sometimes. Sometimes we do other things, right, guys?
I much prefer the comfort of a hospital or presiding over a patient.
Sunny just likes being in friends. Or sun. Being with friends or sun.
What about being with friends in the sun?
That best day ever.
So for me, it's mostly just wandering about, getting into as much trouble as possible, then running out of it. Because sure as hell no, I ain't gonna be able to handle any of it.
Understandable. That is how one survives. Especially in this harsh world.
Well, I've been doing it for the past, like, what? Years now? God. It's been 10 years, what the hell's wrong with me? Either way, kinda just slams down his mug. It's about 3/4 empty. I don't really know why I do this with these people, I'll be honest. Should be out there lucky for my old team. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure half of them are dead, so... Oh well, I guess I'm just doing this for the fun of it, and honestly I don't even know why I'm drinking this crap, but all I know is that I've had worse. That's all.
My understanding is that people often drink to forget, and then they can't remember what it was they were supposed to forget. So they drink to forget that instead.
I mean, I don't drink that often. Only when other people are. We're drinking alone, you know.
Most of my
Some
job
people-
consists of lurking in the shadows and watching my masters drink instead. They certainly seem to enjoy it.
Well, the high and mighty have their thrones. What I've seen being up there is very stressful.
Yes.
Are they very sad people?
The Tungas. Aye.
Yeah.
They seem convinced that there are enemies around every shadow. That's why they employ me.
Of course they're enemies in shadows. That way they shadows. They bad.
True that, my friend. The shadows are a tool. Yes, the Tungas they're convinced that the other houses are out to get them. That's why they approached you. You are a somewhat neutral party. Someone who has proved themselves capable in combat. Whether or not they're right, I suppose that is up to you to decide. They pay my bills. I don't really care if they're right.
He's just kind
Okay,
of
girl,
nods
let's get
along.
you another drink. Grimsby!
What were you
You're
saying?
supposed to whistle.
Magic man.
I guess you are right. There's quite a bit we do not know. I simply seek to heal. I do not care who it is.
Saint or sinner, lord or peasant, everyone gets sick at some point in their lives.
He
Okay, I'm
nods.
just gonna put another grog in front of you, Sold. Okay.
Do you buy a whole round or just one for Isolde?
This one for Isolde. Everyone else is kind of nursing theirs.
Deduct 2 silver from your money amount.
Shall do.
Isolde sips this one a little slower.
If it helps, I think they're right. Because, well, I mean, Diamond's Foots were not great people.
They have their pros
I
and
can see them
cons.
being able to get them.
I understand why you have cons about them. Frankly, little one, I am more than a bit jealous of you. It would be nice to have family to care about and keep me going.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I have what family I have left, but there's also found family, you know? Like, I consider these guys my family. Shut up, I know that's sappy, don't say anything. But, yeah.
Oh, Ollie's just gonna reach out and hug him. Like, oh! Like the little brother I once had. Lost.
You
But
lost
got
your
back
family
again.
as well.
Different body.
I was pretty careless.
Damn.
Ollie's gonna go get a round this time.
Right.
Okay.
Is that for you, Arazid, Kesu, Sunny, Kabor, and Solas? Or Isolde as well? She's not
Well,
even
fucking everyone but
halfway
Sunny.
through. Alright. That is
Any
12
any
silver.
grog brought back, Kesu immediately refuses.
Well, Kesu, you just pass your grog to Sunny. Kesu.
In that case, Sonny will make fun with the alcohol.
Oh no.
Is he
Oh,
doing
Magic,
his
magic,
little
magic,
dance?
boy! Magic, 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 boy!
all right, but how much gold am I losing for Sunny to make honey?
12 silver.
Oh, still. Oh man.
Hey, he'll only do it to his one, and anyone else's that ends up at his feet.
You put your tankard on the ground and dance around it for 10 minutes. Does anyone else want to drink honey instead of grog?
Arazid does
No,
for
I
the
am
second
protecting
one.
my dirt water.
Kesu doesn't know that this turns into something palatable, so he just keeps refusing everything.
Magic, 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 hoy! Yes. Oh my god, that's beautiful.
I wish I could see it.
You can't?
No, it automatically does it for me. It doesn't show it
Oh.
bouncing around.
I'll clip it in the replay then. And you have 2 mugs of clear, gorgeous honey water.
Well, one of these came from Kesu, so he gets his back.
It was Arazid, I believe. Arazid and
Was
yourself.
it?
Yeah,
Well,
Arazid's gonna
whoever it
take
is
a
gets their
fucking
back.
sippy.
I hope those look enough like tankards. It was really hard to find a top-down tankard that looked identifiable.
I'd say they identify as tankards. You can see the handle.
Nice. That was what I was hoping for.
What are they?
They're tankards. Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, there were just a lot of tokens on Roll20 that just look like weird ass dinner plates that were labelled as tankards.
well, I could call them brown apples if you like.
Isolde kind of like she's eyeing your drink a bit more now, Sonny. What did you just do?
Magic.
Ah. Seems like
Good.
it was the acceptable kind of magic. Nobody here is really batting an eye.
You use light magic on alcohol, it turns golden.
Interesting. It seems that even though I have learnt a lot about your party, there is still more to learn every day. However, for now, I'm afraid that I must finish this drink and go. I have other assignments this evening.
You work really hard. That's really admirable.
How many attempts does it take her to get to the front door?
She
He's
is.
only had 2 grog.
She's done. Yeah, but she's. She doesn't have a particularly high tolerance. Let's put it that way.
Ooh. Yep, that way. Go to Kabor. Follow the Kabor.
Follow me.
Well, yeah, you're right there, buddy.
She just like kind of like crashes into one of the stores and is oh no, not quite that way. Oh, excuse me, Bone Daddy. And she's picked up some lingo from Jarl. But eventually she makes her way to the exits.
Kabor, get off of me. I'm not your seat cushion.
What?
You're sitting right on me. Oh, your butt is so bony.
Am I? You're on the table.
Ah! Pork.
There is a stool between Kesu and Arazid and a recently vacated chair, which Kabor eventually settles down into. It's currently late afternoon.
Well, boys, we got all of our stuff for the wedding.
Well, I need to pick mine up tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Wedding? What wedding?
Casey, you know about the wedding, right?
I was told there was one happening, I believe. However, I was not aware that we would be partaking or such.
Oh, I mean, obviously
I
we're
thought
gonna
where work was
go.
done, we were going to leave the city.
Casey,
Oh, no.
were you not there when we were at the Tunger Manor and she hired us to mess with Underbarrow's wedding?
I don't believe he was, no.
Oh,
I went.
oh,
Not in
awkward.
spirit.
Well, yeah, all of that happened.
Yeah.
I was distracted. My mind was on the patients.
Yeah, we get it. You were saving lives. But now we have to save a girl from a loveless, unfortunate marriage with a
This does
evil,
not sound.
short man.
This does not
So,
sound like anything.
Like all
of
marriages,
note.
really.
Right, everyone, let me just catch him up quickly. In short, we've got a plan to deal with Underbarrow, and we have support. The wedding, we have invitations to. There's our way to stop it.
Ixnay on the invitations.
What has he done to deserve this?
I mean, we have good reason to believe he's responsible for the mines.
Say no more. I am in.
And also, there's a lot of stuff on the upper end that people don't like him for, so...
If he was the reason behind that creature in the mine, I will end his miserable existence.
As I said, we've got support. So, we're going.
Just kind of nods.
Glad to have you
I
on this.
did everything I wanted to do
Anyways.
today. You really should find a hobby or
What
something.
Arazid?
I said I've done everything I want to do today. We really should find a hobby or
Me?
something.
A hobby.
It's
a hobby lobby.
Wait, well, didn't you get those tinkering toys?
Oh yeah, I can work
Tinker.
on making our stuff more effective.
Well, I mean... Sure. Not entirely sure it works myself.
If you think you can make Sonny's mace macier or his shield shieldier, you go for it.
Let me just look up the applications of Tinker's tools.
It's mostly to repair stuff.
Well, our party is possibly a little broken. Can you do anything about that?
You can create schematics and then attempt to create things off of those. So if you ever have any ideas for that, I'd be willing to listen.
Bet, big bet.
What was that?
Big bet, you know? Bet is in like, I'll do
right.
it.
Yeah, fair. Hand tools, thread, needles, a whetstone, cloth, leather, and glue. Can't wait to see what you make with that.
Are you a Blue Peter fan?
So, yeah, Arazid could spend the evening getting to know his tools a little bit better. Kind of like starting to create, or attempting to experiment with things like that. Is there anything else the party would like to do for the day?
Go look at prices of tower shields. Now we finally have rules for them. Is there is praying maybe on that list? Otherwise known as sunbathing.
Yeah, I guess for me it's just sleep.
Okay. Do you head up to your room?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go see what's happening with Victor.
Well, when you head upstairs and into your room, let me just double check that the map is all set up properly.
Uh-oh.
You find, as you enter into the room that you have hired, there is a familiar looking face sitting on one of the beds waiting for you.
Kind of just slowly walks in. Hello there.
He looks up from his deep meditation. Greetings. Long time no see.
We've been sort of looking for you. Where you've been?
I have been finding a new lease of life. I have a new master now, and there are some things that he wishes to share with you.
At that, Solas is like squinting to the point where it's obvious that he's thinking, this guy, this is not good. May I get his name? Or you ramble on?
You know his name.
Fortunate. Alright, what is it?
He wants me to take all of you to see him.
Is that so?
There are things that I believe you would all like to hear. If you are here, it means that the rest of your party must be downstairs. Why don't we put this to all of them? And he kind of just like walks away from you.
Solus just stands there like this feeling of fuck. This is bad.
He begins to walk down the stairs. I don't know if you follow along suit.
He's just in the room.
Those remaining on the ground floor see a figure coming down the stairs. He kind of
Arazid.
stands halfway down and stares at the lot of you.
Is that?
Hello, friend.
Greetings. I have been looking for all of you for quite a few days now.
Holy shit, we should have left him in that fucking.
You found us.
Who are you again?
Yes, I don't believe that I have had the pleasure of meeting you two. They call me One.
I call him Thirsty Jesus.
Yes, she insists on that. I'm not really sure why. And you,
Kesu kind of stands up a bit, turning to face.
Because
Why
he
were
is
you
one
looking for
thirsty
us?
Jesus.
I have an offer for you, Mr.
Kesu.
Mr. Kesu. Hello, I am One. He holds out a kind of not quite as bony as yours, but a still fairly bony hand to shake yours, Kabor.
Sure, I'll meet it. Hello.
Well met.
One.
Wait, that's the table. He takes the recently vacated seat. My master
Ollie.
wishes to speak with you before he gets a bit too busy.
And who would that be?
You know who he is. You have been pursuing him before you came to the city.
I simply came here to heal. I have been following this group as they've been moving place to place, as it is for my own protection. I have no idea their quests.
If you are interested in healing, then you should definitely want to listen to what my master has to offer you.
Kesu kind of nods. Very well then.
Where is Solas?
He was upstairs.
I'm gonna go check on him. Don't make
Is he
any
still
fucking
staring at a
deals.
wall going, fuck?
Quite
You will find
possibly.
out.
Ollie heads upstairs to check on Solas.
Oh, you're still fucking alive?
You look dead to the world to me.
Holy shit, Solas. Okay, Thirsty Jesus is downstairs and he's trying to make a deal. You have the most leadership. It hurts me to say it, but it's true. Come on, move your butt. We gotta get back down there.
Well,
You're gonna do
look,
something stupid.
as Ollie attempts to run, he just grabs her by the shoulder. Just says, "Calm down. I'm aware of this. He was here when I came in the room. I don't know how he got in here."
No, you're not aware of what's going on downstairs right now. He's targeted the weakest, most malleable of the party, besides Kesu. Come on!
Oh my god, you are insufferable.
I think I heard the word friend. He's gonna get Sunny.
Oh no. Solas unwittingly returns.
Hey, fool him once, shame on you. Fool him twice. What? Sonny's not eating more bread.
I'm watching Sunny like a fucking hawk. Sunny like...
Welcome back.
Turns to his seat. Just gives him
Why do you think
the
every
plate.
time Sonny summons food, it's mushroom waffles instead of bread? He learned his lesson.
Oh.
Okay.
Red waffle sounds pretty great.
I just want to ask, are you able to give any more information? Or are you just simply an errand boy?
I
Good one, Sol.
can give more, but my master would prefer to give it to you himself. He has become quite wary of others misrepresenting him.
If he don't want people misrepresenting him, why have you not said his name yet?
It is not the kind of thing that is good to spread around unnecessarily.
You know, he accepts that at face value.
What confuses me is why you, of all people, would side with him.
Yeah, don't you even care about what you did to Zaid?
My purpose is to heal this earth. I'm not entirely convinced that that is what Zaid was doing.
Question. Can I do... Not sure. I think first would be an insight. to see whether this guy truly believes what he's saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not good at this. Oh, never mind.
Ah,
Well, shit.
the third eye
Oh,
opens.
dip.
I'm gonna message that to you.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
I should have done that. Oh, with luck I would have rolled a 1. Every time I see that eye, all I want to do is poke it. Can it blink?
It doesn't have eyelids.
I'm
That's
also
why it's so
fairly
angry
certain
all
in
the
the book.
time.
Yeah,
I'm fairly
oh
certain
my
in the book it
gosh.
was meant to be a
Severe.
normal round eye. And I
No
kind of
wonder
missed
it's
me off
always
that it's slitted.
burning.
Well,
Severe case of dry eye.
Yeah, like, get some Visine in this bitch.
well.
I
This
also
is...
really wish I could get the ring, which means that the eye automatically sees everything you're doing when you have it on. At which point I can put on the ring, make sure the eye can see me, turn 180, bend forward, and show him the moon!
How to get kidnapped and tortured in Kirathungal 101.
There's the Nazgul.
That is what your insight check reveals, Solas.
Yeah. Well, probably leave it at we'll consider it, and you tell us where to go if we do accept.
To the Dagmar Manor. At some point before tomorrow draws to a close.
Very well.
If there is nothing else, that is my job done.
You get 1 point.
1 point of what exactly?
It's a play on your name.
One.
I see we have another joker.
He's a bard.
That's beautiful.
Well, it is better than Thirsty Jesus. Farewell. And he
Goodbye.
vamooses.
So he's basically a 0.1 thirsty Jesus at this point.
To fill those in on who doesn't know about the Thirsty Jesus thing, his original token was like a dude who was roped up to like a stockade, and it kind of looked like a crucifix. And the first thing that he did was like ask for water.
Yeah.
It kind of stuck.
Kinda! We're on like what, session 20 now? That was session 1.
Yeah, 21. So 20 sessions later.
Yes. It was one to remember.
Oh god.
Oh.
Tempted to give you inspiration for that pun,
Oh,
but
you
just
guys. That was
it's
so
like
good.
it's like one hair breadth away from being worthy.
Ah. Wait, please tell me that was a deliberate line on your part.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
I figured.
When I made the Bones to Apple Juice Wikipedia page, and I got inspiration from Win, and then I can't make edits on the D&D page anymore.
Right, so as he leaves, Solas is going to stand up again and just say, everyone, I need to meet you in the bedrooms. Things to discuss. And just upstairs.
Okay. I'm just gonna check. Okay, good. Oh. How are you doing this fine evening? You know what? I don't care. No, too slow.
I believe we should go.
So is it like the middle of the night right now?
It's like 5 p.m.
Okay. Close enough.
Yeah. And adventuring
Yeah,
is
okay.
hard work. I'll do your tokens.
All right, that's my usual bed.
Never mind.
Ollie's getting shipped with everyone tonight.
Shipped?
Shipped.
Like shipping.
Shit.
Shipped, yes. I mean, first they were trying to get into bed with, I've completely forgotten the name, both of them, and now they're sharing a bed with, Solas.
Well, Solas sleeps in the ring under my pillow.
I mean, yeah, technically always sleep with all.
Aww.
It's kind of cute.
Either way,
Until those 6 hours
Building
are up,
ourselves a
and
fleet.
So
He
let's
hates me,
rather.
but he weirdly trusts me enough to to keep him safe. And I guess because he's in a shiny object, it makes sense.
So
a
let's
very
rather
good
panically
inventory.
Asks you all upstairs.
so as everyone gets in, he just straight up comes out with, "Alright, so we can't trust one at all. He's underneath the Barrow's spell, so to put it. So
why shouldn't we at least go hear him out? This at least gets us an easy way to the man.
true. Means we won't have to take him down in the middle of the wedding.
We'd have support in the wedding.
True.
It would also be a public spectacle.
Also true.
But like we already have a plan, and throwing the plan off would be so like we're throwing the plan off, and also he would have the
Well, but-
advantage if we went to go see him.
Also, dwarf
Isn't our
lady
plan
who
already
thinks enemies
known?
are everywhere might think we're enemies if we don't go with her plan.
Yeah, that's the point. Okay, scratch what I was just saying. Right, so, bottom line, should we go?
Yes.
Which one?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about the wedding.
Oh no.
To
This
the meeting.
invitation- Yes.
I think that maybe we should play both fields and, kind of see what happens. I don't know, though.
If we go meet with him, will we walk away, or will we walk away calling him master?
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about. If he has a
But he
spell
already
that
has
can
one of those.
specifically do that to people, then how do we know it's not going to be done to us?
Last time he was left alone with a bunch of people, they all walked out of a tavern together.
I mean, yes, that's true. Got about 15 people behind him in a matter of seconds, as far as I could tell.
Oh yes, I do believe I recall that. I came across them on my journey. I know who we're talking about now. It looks like Kesu has finally put one and one together to finally make two.
As long as one of those ones was one. He was amongst the group that you saw. You're like, oh, that's where I saw that face before.
Okay, so. Possibilities
That's one of-
if you go there. One, we get attacked and maybe killed. Good as God are. Two, worst case. Put under the same spell that one and Arazid's sister part of. And last thing, we talk and we leave problems. Those are the three results I think of. Two of them are bad. I think we should.
I'm with it. Whatever you
Worst
guys
case-
want to do.
Worst case, if we don't go, we get assassins rushing us on the streets. So, which are much easier to deal with than
We should make a pros and cons list.
the way I have in my head. I can show you.
Sonny happy just going to wedding, because then we meet with him anyway.
Oh, that's true. We could have just said we'll see him at the wedding. Oh, that would have been cooler.
One did intimate that he would appreciate meeting with you before that day, as he would be quite busy on it.
He'll be officiating. Or possibly doing something far more sinister.
Problem is, we can't trust one in his current state.
We send, like, 1 or 2 people to meet with him, and when they come back under spell, we curse them.
That's if they come back.
If we need volunteers, I can volunteer. I do not fear the man.
Neither do I, but I don't like it out.
Nor do I fear the effects.
I mean, I'll admit, I always have a slight fear of magic. Don't want to admit it because that's a hypocrite. But, well,
If it is my fate to come under his spell, then it will happen. Either
There
way,
it is.
should I resist or should I not? Should it be then or should it be at the wedding? It does not matter.
I just think the Kesu not being on our side would suck. Like, come on.
he will
Maybe
destroy us.
maybe we should send somebody less valuable.
Maybe we should talk
He
to the
looks directly to Ollie.
Somebody
you're
who can
volunteering.
look like anybody. Somebody who could pretend to be Solas.
So you're
Maybe we should
volunteering.
talk to the Tun guys first and tell them what's going on.
You sold it. It's sold. Are you in
We
here?
know she is departed. That is probably why we were approached, because they knew that she was not around.
I'm just saying, she's around a lot. We could probably go out into the street and call for her. And probably call
And
back.
potentially blow the cover of somebody.
Okay, yes. Okay, we'll call her Groggy Woggy.
I do not wish to associate
Oh, that
with
makes
you
sense.
if-
The cons of dwarf. Oh, God.
I mean, if we are sending one person, then I admit that Ollie is the best bet. She can hide, worst case.
Yeah,
Please try
yeah,
to.
I'm very sneaky. I'm very sneaky. I'm very persuasive. And I can make myself look like Solas. So,
And you have
you go.
a special piece of equipment that may help you out here.
I do have that special piece of equipment, and I hope that it'll help me out, because is this a charming situation?
Well, it's a matter of whether you could use it.
Well, I do believe I can use it. I'll have to make sure that I'm attuned, but that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Solas spends all of his time in a ring, so yeah, it's. I think it works on a couple of different levels. So, yeah, because I think we all know that I'm probably the least important and the most sacrificable. I'll go pretending to be Solas.
Sonny is not
Yeah.
arguing.
Yeah, and the only thing that I'm gonna need are Solas, your clothes, Your
Sandals?
Boots and your
sword?
motorcycle.
And yes, Kabor, your sandals.
Okay, so I would be against that, but I'm getting my new clothes tomorrow, so that's fine. However, he pulls out the very fancy fire sword, like sword with all these fire engravings on it. You're not taking this. This is my pride and joy. I spent 25 gold on this, which was half my wallet at the time, and now I am broke.
But I need to look like you.
Can you even use it?
I don't know. I just need to look like Solas.
I mean, it's fairly light. Did you want to use?
Okay, pass it over.
Kind of chucks it.
Okay, and I'll catch it. I'm like, whoa! And it's just kind of going in like
Give me a
circles. Like,
dexterity check.
oh my god. Okay, cool.
You are a little drunk.
Oh, that's true. Those are sharp things that drunk people.
Yeah. Well, it seems Solas is a little impaired as well in his decision-making skills. He
better
just
not.
is like, yep, I'm gonna throw this sharp thing at the clumsiest person in the group. And for
Far
once,
from the clumsiest.
she defies expectations.
I'm the clumsiest socially.
Yes. You snatch it deftly at the less dangerous end.
Okay. Oof. Yes. Oh, that was a good catch. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, it's a little bit heavy, but I can make this work. Okay. And yeah, I'll keep my crossbow in case shit goes rowdy. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Probably better if I don't go with the orb and the eye of the earth. So, Solas, how about you
we have
take my
those.
pack?
Fine,
Okay, and then I'll take your pack,
I guess.
and I'm gonna take my fanny pack off and put it in Solas's pack. Like, no, I'm not leaving this shit. And then, oh yeah, so Solas, my pack is heavy as fuck because it's got a rope of my hair in it.
God, that
He
works.
doesn't.
I forgot about that.
A question. So, what's the total weight of your back currently?
I honestly, I'm sorry. I know that was like a prerequisite of the game, but I have no idea. I've
It should
got
be down. It should be down at the bottom of your inventory stuff.
so I've got 28.78 like total weight, but I don't have like Ollie hair rope in there,
Right.
so like I'd assume that that's
So,
like heavy as shit.
my pack is currently 62.44.
Good lord! All right, I'm used to this weight. This one. I resent
it
having
has-
to
Used
put
to
my
carrying
fanny
the weight
pack
of
in
the
it.
group.
Yeah.
It has like the giant hair rope. It
Oh, okay.
has
Yeah, I'm
his,
taking that out. I'm taking the giant hair rope out. No, I'm
has,
putting Ollie back in.
It also has its fire elemental book in it.
Yeah, don't need that. Don't need that.
And it's also got
Okay,
like a
but I'm
bunch of just
gonna pass it
adventuring
over
stuff.
to you in a stealthy sleight of hand kind of way, so Kesu doesn't see you've been carrying a fucking book this whole time.
And it just like puts it underneath him and thinks, I should really put this in my ring at some point.
Yeah, really put that in your thing.
While Ollie is away disguised as you, I assume it would be a good excuse to burn the rope made out of her hair.
Oh, I'm taking my hair rope. I'm giving him the giant hair rope, and I'm taking mine. You can take this dandruff
How much
piece of
did you
shit.
carry as your strength score combined times by 15, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Enough.
So in that case, it's a miracle nobody's asked Sunny to carry anything extra.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the weight of saving the world. So, some time passes. Ollie
I'm not even taken by that with the response.
disguises herself as Solas in multiple ways. How well, though, are you able to embody Solas? To copy
Gotta get
his
the-
Well,
mannerisms, his speech pattern.
You gotta get the smoke just right.
Everything I say is 4 to 5 words of a sentence and kind of mean, and so Solas.
You're making me sound like a smoker.
I can't do it.
Well, technically you are a smoker. With all that
You
fire.
have a very distinctive smokerish laugh.
Oh, that's just me. I can't. It's like, yeah. Just imagine.
Does the air
Don't
go in
make-
or
Is
out
it,
when
it
you
is
do
it
that?
is it the same thing as me? I have a theory.
Yeah.
I have never smoked a day in my life, but I've been around
No.
so much secondary smoke.
It's
Um,
like try to laugh without making any noise with your voice.
I think that was close.
That's it.
I think that only happens to me when I've laughed so hard I don't have a voice left to laugh with.
Exactly. That's
Has
just my
happened.
laugh.
Last time that happened, I think I
just
saw
laugh
Father Ted
so
for the
much
first
every
time.
day.
Tried it and it hurt my ribs.
Oh,
So I'm going to be requiring some periodic performance checks from you during your
Understandable.
mission, Ollie. And as I understand it, Kesu is accompanying you.
What?
Kesu said that he had no fear of Henry.
I have fear of Kesu.
Duly noted. But is that still accurate, Kesu?
I mean, if nobody stops him, he's gonna go.
Fair.
If I say
It'll
the wrong
sell.
thing-
It'll sell the thing. You know, if two of us show up, if just one person shows up that wasn't very, into this, it would look a bit suspicious.
Why the fuck do we give Tasha the talking stone? Tassa, I mean. Ah. Oh my gosh, Casey's gonna murder me. Casey's been just waiting for a chance to kill Ollie this whole time.
Oh, on Con, ever since he met,
Yeah.
18 sessions ago now?
Pretty much.
Kesu is the BBUG.
Yeah, I've thought that for a while now. His skin under his bandages is sunburnt.
He's actually Vola. Does anyone else want to accompany? And speaking of, does the remaining amount of the party stay at the tavern, or do they, go along to the manor and just hang back?
I need to get my stuff from the clothing place.
The last time Sonny took a generous offer from someone, he ended up with a horrible disease eating him from the inside out. He's good.
That was not a great time.
That was a bad time.
So he's willing to let this time slide at the risk of not making a new friend. Because this doesn't seem like a good friend. Technically, he already made friends with him, and then he walked off. That was a bad friend.
And then you walked off with all your friends.
Yes,
Not
very bad friend.
the important ones.
I mean, could have walked off with Sonny. Sonny wouldn't have minded.
So Solas, do you want to walk off in what I assume is Ollie's mouldy ass robe and go collect your wedding clothes?
Yeah.
You can wear my dress. Oh wait, it won't fit you.
No, you're too small.
Have we departed yet, or?
I'm going to assume yes, unless there's something that Ollie or Kesu want to do.
I mean, if Solas needs something, Kesu would just be like, here's my robe.
You take it.
Kesu just walks around bandage man style.
Nice.
Okay,
So we now have a mummy in the group.
Are you my
I'm
mummy?
gonna. Oh gosh. I'm gonna give Arazid and Kabor and Sunny a hug. And Solas, I'm just gonna give him the old like army salute.
How quickly
There's
can
a-
you
Sonny hook
change your...
back. Should I roll a strength check for that?
Crack all the bones in my back. Oh.
Fair enough. Yeah, go ahead.
Worst case, as well as kind of go about. We know that I can jump from that area to
Aw.
beneath without any issue.
I was hoping for an extreme result.
Sorry, just practicing Solas's.
You cause some pain.
Okay, I'll miss you too, buddy.
Just don't laugh while you're there. You'll be fine.
Just don't laugh while you're there. You'll be fine.
Close enough.
Close enough. Alright, goodbye, everyone. Sorry I'm talking like this. I'm just trying to really sell the character.
It's hard to do a deep voice when you don't have one. I know.
Yeah.
Kesu goes along as well. He's
I'm trying to... I swear I had somewhere around here a saved
Oh.
picture of Solas's character art that I was going to send to you, Ollie, so you can change your token. And I can't
Oh,
find
that'd be
it.
so cool.
Would you be able
I
to
can
send
get
it
it.
to her? Thanks.
Yes.
Kesu's gonna kind of lean in as they're kind of walking along. We do know that I can leap from the above area and safely land. Worst comes to worst, I will either carry you or you can get on my back, and I can probably outpace anybody up there and leap into the lower sections of the city.
Yes. I am aware.
Good.
Thank you
Very
for coming
convincing.
with me.
That sounds painful to do.
He just nods as he continues forward.
Tell me when I need to update the page to get Ollie's profile to change.
I will do that. Just give me a second. I'm trying to do a voice and this at once. Oh my gosh, Solas's character art is so babe.
Monk 101.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh,
As you two enter into the noble culture of the city, I would like Ollie to do her first performance check.
okay. Hey, Kesu. You're a really great friend and
Stop.
fine lover.
You're going to blow the cover before we even get up there.
Just fine.
Clearly, I'm not.
The guards at the bottom of the elevator regard the pair of you rather strangely, but they check something against a list that they have and allow you up.
Fantastic.
The elevator rises. Solas takes a little trip to the transient quarter to visit Madame Godiva.
Yep, goes in the complete opposite direction.
Wait, is it morning?
No, but it's been
Yes.
a day since... Oh, wait, did you guys sleep for the night first?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. Then yes, it is morning.
Hit refresh.
Shopping!
You have a standard breakfast. Who wants to pay for the room for last night? 1 gold.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. At which point, Kesu and Sollie go one way. Solas is determined to go elsewhere. Sunny needs to do some shopping. Is there anything in particular that Kabor and or Arazid need to do?
Ares is
No.
just gonna tag along.
Nothing comes to mind, yeah. Just hang out.
Cool. We'll do Sunny first. You head into the Undermountain Market. You, as you step off of the elevator, you notice that the air is quite a bit nicer in quality than it has been your last few trips.
I'm sure that was to do with something that I was totally a part of and didn't miss.
Ah, yes, the smell of my accomplishments. Is there a particular shop that you'd like to go to? Or just...
One with big metal things out front that look like you're meant to hold them.
Yeah, there are a couple of like regular stores here. You remember that the Sturdy Sheath also sells shields.
That was the place with the friend.
Yes.
There.
You step in. Webley is smiling as normal, standing on a stool behind the counter. Ah, good morning. How are we doing today?
Good. We need shield. Big shield. Like, really big shield.
Ah, I can do you one of those. Bright Steel loves to make those kinds. It's almost big enough for him to hold like a little buckler. I have two of them available. And they cost 20 gold pieces.
Yeah. Can he trade in the old shield for the new shields for
A discount? Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
15 gold then. Well, it doesn't seem like you've used this one much since you bought it. Good condition, hmm? I hope you get more use out of this one. And he hands you a tower shield, and you hand him, I assume, 15 gold.
Yep.
Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, friend. Bye-bye.
Farewell. Solas heads over to Madame Godiva's. And your wedding clothes are ready. Scrolling, it's around here somewhere.
Oh god.
She is sitting outside in her little rocking chair, currently halfway through crocheting a blanket. As you look up, she is like, greetings, young master. I have prepared something for you that you would hopefully like. She shows you into her hut.
Okay.
And shows you the clothes that she has whipped up.
Damn.
As he sees those, he's like, "Oh fuck, that's too good." Okay. No, yes, this is very nice. Very nice indeed.
You
Quite
like?
beautiful. Well, it's much better than what I've got currently. I'll say that much.
Isu's
Yes.
robe that... Oh no, when was that thing last washed? When was it made?
Alright, would you mind heading out while I put this on?
Very, very well. She scuttles outside and closes the door behind her.
Alright, so he changes into it, putting his armor beneath. Because obviously it's just studded leather, it needs to go beneath it.
Yeah, it is a slightly snug fit with the armor underneath. She had measured it to your body.
Yeah.
And you see that she seems to have deducted a little space, assuming that you would take the armor off. But it works, and you can
So I
still
think
move.
noticing this partway through, he'd be like, this isn't going to work. And then just kind of puts it so it's above like the main shirts and like the vest and stuff, but he doesn't put too much of it on currently. But yeah,
Okay.
he makes it so the outfit it doesn't like ruin the outfit at all.
Yeah, there's a way that
It's
you
on-
can layer this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But you pick up your wedding clothes. You feel fancy. You're looking fly.
hmm
Uh,
So
yeah.
kind of walks outside. What he does, he summons his sword and takes out the obsidian dagger he has because Ollie took the other one. The other sword, I mean. And kind of just has a feel for it while outside. But
Oh, you're
Good
looking
job.
rather dashing in those.
reminds me of my old outfits, if not a bit more Western. Yes, no, it's very nice. Thank you.
Anytime, dearie.
Right. Well, I have places to be. Service.
She waves you goodbye and returns
And
to
heads
her
off.
crocheting. Kesu and Ollie arrive at the top of the noble's quarter. Dagmar Manor awaits you.
Yes.
Kesu just walks up like he belongs.
There is a
Ollie walks with the air of Solas, who always looks like he belongs in any situation.
Such a high opinion. Oh, has the picture changed yet?
the lower one.
Hit
has.
refresh. Yeah, the lower one. I'm not sure how to change the upper one. Do I have to kill this one?
Yeah.
I do. How do I kill it? Kill
Just
it
like
for me, Lena.
Ah!
I
Oh,
can
so that's what he...
I can remove your current artwork, but I don't have the other file, so you would need to upload that.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh, I can do it. Oh gosh.
So that's what Solas's legs look like.
Yeah.
I always assumed he was floating around just like... I thought it was smoke from the waist below. Nothing to see here.
No, he's
Literally
just,
nothing to see here.
Makes sense.
No, he's just half leg.
Alright, it's done.
Oh god. Sorry. That it gets the point across.
I would be a little bit shorter.
Probably, yeah.
So that's what he would look like as a gnome.
Yeah.
I'd always wondered that.
But he wouldn't be hella trustworthy.
Speaking of gnomes, there is a guard outside the gates of the manor, a gnome, who is kind of watching the pair of you approach from the elevator with a curious look.
Sorry,
Do I know this gnome? Have I met this gnome before?
You have not.
Ah. Well
Kesu.
met. I am Solas, here to meet with Juan. We were told to meet him at the Dagmar Manor. Do you know Juan?
That is a name familiar. May I take yours?
Yes, I am Solas. And this is my companion, Kesu.
Just loading up the map. Hope it doesn't take too long to load.
It's a big boy. Yes, I have notes here that you are expected. If you would like to follow me.
Right.
He takes you underneath this this bridge where the portcullis is. And you enter into the manor grounds proper.
Big place.
As you emerge into the courtyard, you see that the wedding preparations are fully in effect now. If you look southwards, you can see the pews and the wedding arch seem to have been set up.
Going to be a nice wedding.
You pass by the warehouse that you hid behind talking to Tessa all of those sessions ago. He guides you past all of this. I need to measure this map one day, it's so big, man.
Certain point, it's like, I can dash at 90 feet? Like, how long would it take me to get across this?
Quite a while.
I can measure, hold on.
Yeah, I have 90 feet with a dash. So I'm at
Damn.
40 plus 15.
I mean, it is meant to be like the big-ass manor house, so I guess that size fits.
I'll take you about 6.2 turns
Oh god.
To dash.
to get from one end to the other.
Can I dash twice technically with a bonus action and an action?
Yeah.
Probably, if that's in your class.
Yeah, because I can use a key point to take a dash as a bonus action.
Yeah.
So I can theoretically move 135 feet in one
Technically-
turn.
over 3 turns.
So could Ollie.
I'm still zooming out. Where the hell is the entrance? Oh yeah, I found where the wedding's happening.
Nice.
Oh, there you are!
Oh no.
Bloody hell!
This is
I don't think I've got enough fireballs.
This is the second iteration of this map. I originally tried to make it all out of tokens and it just would not load. So I had to draw just the walls and the buildings myself
I can imagine.
and leave the rest. He opens the door for you.
Thank you.
Kesu wordlessly continues onwards.
He is expecting you.
Well, it was nice knowing you two.
See you
Where was
around.
the... Which bit was the building? Okay, now everything too zoomed out.
Oh shit, this is fucking dapper.
Well,
Okay, that is a nice place. I like the water. That's a nice touch.
Fucking storybook beautiful.
we'll give you more of a tour during the wedding on the grounds. Standing
Nice place.
at the dais on the far end is a familiar face.
You wordlessly walking up till we get to here.
Hello, Henry.
Do a performance check, please.
Oh god, I only have Solas' wedding clothes up. Where did my sheet go? Oh, that's Solas. Oh no.
You're embodying me too hard.
Oh,
Apparently it's working.
oh, thank god.
He remains where he is. He bows to the pair of you. Greetings once again, Solas. And well met, Kesu.
I believe we have had an encounter before. However, it is good to finally put a name to a face, not passing along a road in darkness.
A dark look flashes over his face. Ah, yes. Sorry, that was a bit of a
interesting time for me. I was
Yes.
not quite full of my own manners.
Oh, it is no issue. It is not the first time that I come across a traveler in the open sands that had been scorched by them in one way or another.
You are wise. And you are kind. Thank you both for coming. I admit I wish to have met more of my previous companions. But
Yes.
I do understand the hesitancy.
What did
For the
you
most-
Oh, what was that? Sorry, my dear Solas.
What is it that you want, Henry?
Well, it has come to my attention that quite a lot of unsavory things have been going around about me. Some of them not started by you, but, well, I thought it best that we talk.
Let's talk then.
First, I want you to know that the creature in the mines was not my doing.
Then whose was it?
It was the Tungus.
Do you have proof?
It is their mine, on their property, and it was there before I ever arrived in the city.
Kesu kind of rubs his chin and did he remember? I know he had asked, oh, what's her name?
Freya?
Lady Tunga?
Freya, when the black lung started. When was that?
It was actually a week or so before Henry arrived in the city.
It did begin before you had arrived. I've been working to eradicate it, and I have been successful. I know the dear Freya at the hospital had mentioned that it began about a week beforehand.
Yes. I understand why people think that it was me. Especially you lot. It was, I accept that it was a rather odd manner in which I left your group. But I was called to do greater things. The Tungas, on the other hand, to paraphrase, they delved deeply and greedily, and they unearthed a creature that was never meant to live here.
I can agree with that. That uncanny thing. It's credence for using those affected by it as incubators. It was a scourge that was dealt with.
I am most impressed at you.
A dealing that you took credit for.
Someone had to. I find it harder to say, random group of mercenaries took it upon themselves. I will admit it was a bit more advantageous to say that their new lord facilitated its end. And if you think about it in a way that is not untrue.
In the way that we followed you to get here?
Yes. If
It's
you
a
did
kind
not
of-
follow me, then you would not be here, and you would not have defeated it.
I guess it was fate that led us here.
Yes, indeed.
I can see the sense.
I'm glad that your fate has led you to this conversation.
I've been intrigued. I've only been able to hear one side of the story from the group that you departed from. I'd wished to learn a bit more about your side.
I had a rather strange awakening one day. I have always desired to make this world a better place. Have you ever wondered why all that we have in this city all that we have in this world are different factions fighting amongst one another for the same resources? What if we could unify all of those people, and instead of fighting for resources, we could fight against what is causing this scarcity?
And that would be?
I do not know yet, but I suspect it has something to do with... Well, my researcher has uncovered documents referring back to a calamity that happened many centuries ago.
Out of character, just the sheer irony here is just beautiful.
Irony?
Well, he's trying to figure out what caused the calamity. If he'd stuck in the tavern for like a day longer, he'd have the goddamn answer.
Good point, good point. Didn't think of that.
Oh, this... I'm...
How do you intend to reverse this calamity, Henry? It is of my understanding that you are not of this world.
Not of this world? That is a rather rude and ironic thing to say from someone who continually produces little swathes of flame. Do not think I have not noticed. You are not entirely of this world, my dear.
I am purely of this world. Fire is in everything that we see, everything we do. But you, Henry, have come from somewhere else. So it's curious to me that you choose to involve yourself in these matters. That you choose to rise to power over these people who you have very little in common with.
I was born in Grove. I grew up as a minor noble family under the fascist rule of the laziest nobles you will ever meet. I tried once to seize power. I failed, and for it I was sold into slavery. I really fail to see how any of that makes me not of this world.
Kesu's confused because he doesn't even know what quote-unquote Solas is talking about. I don't know if this is just a session I missed or what.
So I'm referencing session 0.
Oh.
When Henry had talked about his backstory, and now I'm like, oh shit, I got this wrong. Oh shit. I thought for sure that Henry was from a different world and had like different magical knowledge. This is so awkward.
So wait, who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of Henry. Like, remember session 0 Henry?
No, I know that. I know you got his backstory just like completely wrong, because for some reason I'm the only one that read it. But
what? I thought it was that. I thought it was that he was.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who are you thinking of that came from another world. I mean, everyone knows Sollie was an alien. Shit.
Out of character, I am also so confused.
Yeah,
but I don't remember
so
session
sorry.
0 that well.
I also thought, like, what I read is that, like, this, with it being a dying plane, it was almost impossible to, move planes either in or out.
Bingo.
Oh, I thought for sure that Henry was from
Do we
a
want to
different world.
retcon that bit? Because apparently they wouldn't have thought that if their player could remember these things.
Oh my god.
Which is kind of funny, because who's the law taker around here?
Yeah, right? Yeah, right?
Person who takes notes. What?
Yeah, that's why I was so sure. That's why I was so sure. Oh, fuck, man. Okay, let me could have sworn.
I still think it's a cool thing to say to
Alright.
someone, "You're not of this world."
I mean, you
Quick,
could say, like, his personality, his magic, his whatever.
quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we think he's in league with Cthulhu or something.
Although he has just, at least I think in Kesu's mind, proven that Cthulhu was something that was brought into this world by your current allies. But yeah, you can certainly socially walk that accusation back now if you desire.
Okay, yeah, I might
Or
as
double
well.
down, depending on what Ollie would play Solas doing.
Well, Grove is practically a different world with its wealth of resources.
Yes, it does seem that way sometimes. It is.
Is that your intention, Henry? Or should I call you Underbearer?
It is Henry of Underbarrow. But Henry is a bit more of a common name, so it is easier to go by Underbarrow to the common folk. Slightly easier for them to know who you're talking about specifically.
What is your plan to heal this world, then?
I intend to gather all of the resources and all of the people in a more accessible manner for everybody. And then I intend to recruit as many people as we can to focusing on the real problem, what caused the calamity, and how to reverse it.
We know what caused the calamity, Henry.
Oh? Do tell.
I'm gonna look at Kesu really quick. The calamity was caused by the death of the second son. The land is burnt because we don't have its light guiding us. But I'm not sure how you would intend to return the sun to its rightful place.
Me either, right now, to be perfectly honest. But I think that this whole ban on arcane studies is a little bit counterintuitive, don't you? We need to focus our resources, all available ones, on studying this and trying to find a way to reverse it. That is all I wish.
He's just kind of confused. I thought the sun had just went missing. It wasn't destroyed. Or died. Perhaps I'm misremembering.
Perhaps scholars remain divided.
So you intend to return the arcane arts. Is that your only goal?
And to help restore the earth in the process, and to be able to unite all peoples under one banner so that we no longer waste precious people and resources on pointless wars. Have you been listening, my dear? I thought you were better than that.
He's just gonna take a deep breath as he kind of stares down and try and concern, like, is this just, like, speaking in tongues and, you know, is he just trying to sway us?
Insight check.
Did
I have a pretty good one of those.
Tell us, my dear, because are we shipping 2 more characters here?
He's about to be married. Of course, this is the one last thing he wants to get done before then.
I mean, look at Solas's legs. Who wouldn't want to marry him? Kesu, from what you can tell, he is being genuine.
He still looks a bit confused as he kind of rubs his chin and begins to contemplate.
So what would you be needing from us, Underbarrow?
I understand that you have already been approached by other factions, and I would ask that you do not listen to them. What I want from you is, well, for you to be on my side. For you all to work with me.
With you or for you?
With me. There will be no requirements that you must stay here and toil in the Accademia dell'Arte. I just wish that you share your intel with me, and I will share my intel with you. Allies.
Understood. Well, Henry.
Kesu's gonna kind of look and just gonna pose a question. Can you see what is unseen?
He cocks his head to the side, confused.
Maybe elaborate?
It is a simple question. There are things that cannot be seen to the naked eye. Do you have the ability to see them?
Does he? It is not within my exact skill set. No. If you are asking if I can see those who are invisible.
He just kind of nods. Very well then. And he kind of looks towards Solas. Was there anything else we needed to discuss?
I think we're done here, friend. Henry. Or Henry of Underbarrow, if that's what you prefer.
We are friends.
Have a happy wedding,
Just call me Henry.
Henry. I hope that you have a very happy wedding.
And I will see you all tomorrow.
Use a reposition. One last thing before I go. Do you have any who needs healing while I'm here?
Solas is going to try really hard not to roll her eyes.
Is that a willpower check?
Constitution.
God damn it. I don't think willpower has been a thing for a few editions. Although, it should come back.
Yeah, sorry. No.
Yep. He kind of rubs his chin and he goes, well, my wife-to-be, I should say, did accidentally prick her finger on a sewing needle earlier today, but a little bit of cloth sorted that out. But I appreciate the offer.
He nods. I'm simply fulfilling my fate.
Are they going to exit the castle, turn around and go, where the fuck all these vines come from?
Kesu looks towards Solas as he kind of gives a nod. Then
Sollie.
let us depart.
Alright, Solas is going to nod to Henry. We'll see you tomorrow.
Before you go,
And, yes?
he just approaches the pair of you and is like, to a hopeful, promising allyship, and holds his hand like upwards because he's like 3'5".
I mean, Kesu's actually not that much taller than him.
Okay, yeah. So
Kesu's like what? I made Kesu like super short. Kesu's only 5'4".
okay, not that.
Wow,
much
that's so
upwards.
short. Wow.
Look, short for humans.
Cries and
Okay,
five
well,
five
that's
so
being a
short for a
perfectly average
human.
height.
Hey, no. No, Solas is going to reach out to Kesu and say, we've been at the hospital most of the day tending to the dead. I think it's best that we shake
not-
on this after we've washed up.
We simply awoken and came here. I do not know
Holy
why,
fucking
but we get
shit,
to lie.
Kesu.
And he extends his hand to shake.
You shake hands with Henry.
I should constitution for an eye roll. I should
His hand does not feel unnatural.
I want to see quickly. Just give me 1 second here, because I forget what I can do with he at this point. I know I have a stunning strike, but I don't know if I should just stun the guy right here and then kill him.
Well, you are kind of a stunning guy, so...
Heyo.
Hey. He just shakes hands.
Okay.
And then, looks towards Solas.
He releases your hand and walks over to Solas and offers his hand to you.
Sir Sollie is going to shake his hand with the hand not holding her mother's ring. And if he's reaching for that hand, she's going to slip the finger. So...
which hand would you normally wear your mother's ring on?
I think my left, because you kind of use it the least, so I'm hoping he's a right hand shaker.
He is reaching out with his right hand, yes.
Alright, so yeah. So fuck it, I'll shake the motherfucker's hand.
Henry's not a good scout. At least Boy Scouts around here teaches to shake with the left.
Weird.
Really? That's so
yes.
weird.
The idea behind it is
to make everyone you meet uncomfortable.
Well, no, to shake with the right is you typically back in the very olden days, you would have your shield on your left arm and your sword on the right. Or if you shake with the right, you still have your shield to protect you should they try and attack. But if you lower your guard and shake with the left, then you're opening yourself. Was kind of the initial idea way back in the day.
Wow, I heard it the other way round. You shook with the right hand because that was your sword hand. You were putting forward your sword hand, sans sword, to say hi to someone.
Yes.
I've heard it both.
I don't know.
That way as well, really.
Yeah.
Because
that's roughly what I was shown.
So much experience with sword play.
Yes.
Well, technically they probably do
what I
with
was
the
taught.
night hits.
Regardless, it appears that Henry has not heard of this custom. He reaches out with his right hand, shakes Sollie's, releases it, and walks back to his platform. Neither of you feel any different. Thank you.
But you have been infected.
Kesu nods and thank you for yours. I can only assume how busy you must be. He bows slightly and then turns and
Don't
begins.
let me detain you.
Wait, then let me detain you or don't let me detain you?
Don't.
Alright, that was an important... Alright.
Later!
That would be
Necessary.
the most polite and unusual way to tell someone psych. You are free to leave. The Dagmar Manor also offers no more resistance to you. What have the rest of the party been doing?
As Kesu gets to the edge, he
Staring at the wall, waiting.
He has an odd fascination and temptation to jump off instead of taking the elevator.
Sollie is going to grab him by the shoulder and in a very Solas-like fashion, hold him back.
Cowabunga.
Shake my regal head. We're taking the elevator.
Go on, dude. Let's get it on. Fathers of the Renaissance.
I assume at some point Solas and Sunny have returned to the inn and awaited the rest of the party's return.
Yep, he's wearing his fancy new outfit.
Fucking dapper. Alright, when we get to the door, I'm going to go, Sunny, meet us outside. Wait, Am I me?
So you want Sunny to follow you outside?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, I just kind of reloaded this from earlier in the session. You can change your token back if you want.
All right, Sunny, detect magic.
Magic, magic, magic! Hoy!
Oh, I mean, like, do the spell. Oh, oh god, I don't have to talk like this anymore. Oh, thank God.
Well, if he does it that way, he doesn't have to use a spell slot, so he just has to dance in the spot for 10 minutes.
Okay. Good.
Technically 10 minutes, 6 seconds.
Well, we will count down the seconds.
Okay.
600.
Magic, 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 hoy!
And
Okay.
later.
Is Ollie glowing?
You spend 10 minutes in quarantine, as Sunny dances around you, and you do see a faint glow about Ollie. It comes from the ring on her finger.
Oh, thank God. Okay, cool. It's good.
Ring glowing, ring evil. We must get rid of ring.
No, no, this is fine.
New friend?
More like old asshole still being an asshole, most likely. I don't know. He had a lot. Oh my God, I'm like stuck. Whew. Okay. He
I know,
had a
it's,
lot. Yeah. He had a lot of like nice kind of bullshit to say, but like really does not make up for the fact that he was torturing Arazid's sister, mind controlling her into being his slave. So I don't know.
I forgot to ask about that, to be completely honest, about why none of the why all
Everyone
of the
makes
servants.
mistakes, though.
You know what? I thought it best not to bring it up inside his palace, so I'm glad you fucking forgot. But I'm just thinking, no, like fuck this dude. If he's gonna work Casa to the goddamn bone and mind control her to be his little slavey bitch, then he is not fit to be a ruler. And like, sure,
Wait,
I can
who did he
accept
mind
that the
control?
Tungers are likely responsible for that
Ollie is
slob
full on back to herself.
demon. but like, nah. Nah, that does not mean that Henry is going to be the leader of this bitch. If anybody is going to lead this fucking town, it's Arazid.
Wait,
I completely
I've forgotten.
I completely forgot. What was the deal of ours with the Tongers again?
We go to the wedding and with their guards help us. We help them attack Henry.
Yeah, and she gave us some pieces of paper, which I can't remember, but are they to like immobilize him? God in the sky?
Yeah, I think they were hold person spells.
That is indeed what they are.
Kesu is in deep thought before kind of getting up. I'm going to return to the hospital to see how Freya is doing.
Hey, Kesu, do you know Freya's single?
I do not pry into the personal life of a random person who works at a hospital. She simply aids in healing.
Could you
I do not
pry?
see. Why does this matter to you?
It matters to a friend of mine.
Why does it matter
it
to this
matters
friend
to
of
me.
yours?
I think she's cute.
Then they can ask her themselves, and he kind of gets
Very
up.
shy. Kesu! Kesu! Ah!
What?
Just ask her.
No.
Yes! I'm gonna fucking roll persuasion. He's a nice boy! He's a nice boy, Kesu!
Would you stop following me?
No! You ask her!
Do we know who the nice boy is, or?
I'm assuming it's Kesu.
I mean, you guys have been like waiting in the tavern for the others to come back and report like what they've learnt. They came back. Ollie sprouted just word vomited at you for a good few minutes, and then switched to talking about hooking someone up, and now they've left again. So I'm not
Go
entirely sure any
back!
of you know what's going on right now.
Kesu just look. Go back. You are an annoyance.
I'm a persuasive annoyance.
Do not make me stop you.
Well, at least we know they're
Then
fine.
don't.
He's gonna continue trying to trying to walk along.
Oh, but he's gonna fucking ask for her if she's single.
Okay, Ollie's not following because I was about to try and stun you. Would not have been nice.
Really should have put a little bit on the consent form about PvP combat.
So, guys, what you been doing without me? Solas, you look amazing.
Thank you. I picked this up while you were out, so fits quite well.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I could talk with as few words as you do. It was so hard for me up there. But I don't think anyone suspected a thing.
Good.
Right. Oof. All right. Well, so we learned a few things. First off, Henry wants to save the world from whatever's wrong with it, and he doesn't seem to know what that is, so that seems kind of stupid. I told him about the sun dying. He seemed pretty interested in that. I don't know if I should have shared that much information with him. Yeah, he wants to start his army to like go after like the resource inequality so that everybody will have the same resources, and he wants to heal the earth, and it all sounds pretty good until you remember that he's a freaking psychopath. Tortured Tassa and made her his slave. Feels the need to mind control everyone around him. Ooh, one of the really interesting pieces of information. I'm just gonna kind of duck down, and I'm gonna look around. Is there anyone I recognize from the Tungor Manor / Makan in the restaurant at this time?
Perception check.
I have to do a perception check for Makan.
That
I can hear
one!
the chewing. Oh.
Ah, damn it, I hope that would have a reverse effect and give you a nat 20.
No, you don't recognise anyone from the Tunga area. All you see is like the same group of friends playing their little like dice and card game in the corner over here, and then a couple
I'm gonna
of
look a little bit suspiciously
stragglers
at that.
the bar.
Okay, are
Because
those
frankly-
D&D dice on that table?
Yes.
We have seen these motherfuckers here every fucking night. All right, guys, let's take our grog to go and let's meet upstairs.
Someone
Oh, I'm
gonna
so
go and
tired.
order and pay for that grog.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Pardon me. Whatever they've been drinking, I got a Grims. I'm gonna reach into Solas's big ass pack for my fanny pack.
And then
How
inside
much
your
do
fanny
I
pack is
owe?
your coin pouch.
Yeah.
That's 12 silver, my dear.
Oh, wonderful, Grims. Wonderful.
Please don't call me Grims.
Sorry. You husky man. All right. So we're gonna go up to our room. Oh, I'm very, very sleepy. It's been such a long day. Okay, all right, let's talk. Okay. So, as it turns out, according to Henry, the evil blobby lung monster didn't show up, or it showed up a week before he arrived. And it was actually due to the Tunger's mining operation, that they dug too deep.
So, does somebody want to quote to Lord of the Rings here?
Right?
Yep.
Well, that's unfortunate. It's also more unfortunate that it kind of makes sense. What makes sense is why they would try to force a cave-in or something to get off most of the place.
Yeah, instead of sending workers to it.
Yes, that was a thing they did, wasn't it?
That was a thing that they did. These guys might not be the best people to be employed by. I'm starting to realize right now.
Oh, I hate these sorts of scenarios.
You mean
Well,
you love
frankly-
them?
I mean, like the player loves them, yes.
And I'm not being racist here, but that they all have beards. Can't trust people with beards. I would know. I have a beard. I know what I'm talking about.
Can't trust dwarves.
Oh, you can trust dwarves, just not bearded ones.
Yeah, you can't just dwarves. There is always low to the ground. No?
To be fair, I kind of fine on that one, so...
Said you can't trust dwarves. The ears are always low to the ground.
There's a callback to the last time.
Now
we
I
were
know
in the
why
Tongue
nobody
Buck
laughed
Dinner.
at it!
Yeah.
Somebody give that person whatever the hell frickin' that. Somebody give that person inspiration. Maybe it'll make them feel better. But all the jokes we've had, somebody should bloody well have inspiration right now.
I have
did,
been quite impressed by most of you this session, I will admit.
Inspiration for everyone!
Especially Ollie's top-notch role-playing.
Oh, fuck yeah. I killed Solas.
I would, on that subject, I was going to save it for the end of the session, but I would like to give the 6 of you some inspiration.
Ooh, we're gonna be into the wedding.
Wait, what do you
Can
do
we
with
hold
2
this till the
inspiration?
wedding?
Well, it sucks you should have used up that inspiration. Sorry.
Oh.
Completely forget about it.
I was gonna say, I haven't had like any roles that I wanted to redo.
Suffering from success.
So, wait, we do have inspiration or we don't have inspiration? Because that little dragon
You do.
thing is weird.
You do. For those of you that were given inspiration beforehand and haven't used it up yet, sucks. You don't gain any extra inspiration.
Okay.
But if you didn't, you do now. Anyway. Info dumping. Conspiracies.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. So, frankly, guys, I just don't know who to trust.
It's like choosing between Caesar's Legion and the New California Republic.
That's not a difficult choice. You go
Kabor,
house.
We don't understand references from when you were alive. You gotta bring it back to the present day.
Oh, of course.
Besides, that wasn't even a choice. You just went Mr. House. It was the best option.
Never bet against the house.
The second best option was to go independent and fuck everybody over.
Yeah, yes, man. Yeah.
I seem to drop a lot of F-bombs when I play this game.
No complaints.
So basically, could I keep also the inspiration until the wedding? Or do I
Yeah.
have to use it this session? Oh, thank God.
No, I'm not one of those DMs. I have played with DMs in the past that are like, if I give you inspiration, you must use it by the end of the session. But nah, that's not
You're
my
like,
jam.
but we only got 45 minutes of planning.
I mean, like, imagine if the rest of this session was just roleplay and there were no opportunities to roll.
Yeah.
And also if I had waited until the end of the session to give you it.
Yeah, end of session.
You will have
End of session. You all gain inspiration. You all lose your inspiration. Evil DM laughter.
Very chaotic evil. I'm more like lawful evil.
You say so?
Pretty great. All right. So what do you guys think that we should do? Solas? Thoughts?
Well, with this current scenario,
Add a character. If we can put this question off until we hit next level, I can answer the question for us.
Oh yeah, Woe or Wayne or whatnot.
Roll
Bruce
the
Wayne.
dice.
Full-blown divination!
What about Wayne Gretzky?
God, I love how they got me a level up on the server.
Whoa,
yeah.
or Bruce.
Congrats!
Okay. Anyway. I'm not sure. I mean, the current
Did he
situation...
act like friend?
That's really the core question, isn't it?
I mean, I can't really answer that because I technically wasn't there.
Really? But you... No, but you... Ollie.
Yes, we did send her. That was the plan.
And now Kesu's gone. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I was just so concentrated on trying to be you, Solas. I feel like... Alright, yeah, maybe we should go down to the hospital and get Kesu and see what input he has from the situation.
I think we can guess what his reply is going to be. If it is my fate to get backstabbed, then it is fate.
You know, he seemed to kind of like Henry, which is weird. Because honestly, I still think that he's the absolute worst. Like, he was just kind of saying all this good stuff, but I don't know, it doesn't change the fact that he's evil. So basically, he wants to start an army, he wants to make all the resources equal for everybody. And he wants to bring back arcane magic to help him fix whatever's wrong with the world and bring it all back. But, why does he have all these goals and yet he's still an evil frickin' tyrant? Why is Juan saying that we can't trust Zaid, but then Solas is saying that he checked out Juan and then Juan is, under mind control? Juan loves Zaid and I'm just, I don't know. I just feel like there's a whole lot of paths ahead of us, and I don't exactly know which way is the best way to go. I mean, there's Isolde, and she's all I don't know if I trust my bosses, and we just learned that there's a pretty good reason for her to not. And I don't do we stop the wedding? What's gonna actually make the world better? It's confusing, right? Because we've got the same goal as Henry, but we've just got a different leader with Zaid, but Zaid's kind of left us, and it's we're just all alone trying to save the world. But like Henry said, we're just a ragtag group of mercenaries who don't really know what they're doing and are just getting lucky all the time. And maybe we should get behind a leader of some. Solas is kind of our leader, or maybe I'm kind of a leader some days. I don't know, but it's just really confusing right now, guys.
Sunny has a sort of pseudo idea.
Thank God.
We decide we pick one of the two. We pick one of the two sides to go with, and decide that we're going to go with that side in 15 minutes. And then we cast Augury to find out if that decision we're going to make is going to be a bad one.
We should.
That sounds like a good idea.
So, are we about to make a really, really bad decision?
Now let's vote for how many votes each person gets. Then we can vote on who gets the vote.
We don't really
and who
need to
votes and
vote.
who
We just
doesn't
need to
vote.
decide one of the two options and then find out if it's a bad idea. Because if it is a bad idea, then we just go with the other one anyway.
But they may not accept us at that point. We may have already burned the bridge.
Well, we can only cast augury for the next 30 to do a decision that we're going to do in the next 30 minutes. So therefore, we need to decide that we're going to, some point in the next 30 minutes, pick one of those two sides, and we need to pick one of those two sides with the intent to actually officially pick one in the next 30 minutes. So we cast the spell to find out if the thing we're going to do in the next 30 minutes is a bad idea.
This is too confusing for my simple mind.
Oh, come on, this is basic time manipulation. It's not that complicated.
I can't even read.
Felt that so hard.
I'm willing to follow the majority. I don't think either option is a good option. So I think we need to pick the one that sounds better to us, or the one that's going to pay us more. Those are my 2 copper pieces.
Dwarves go in mines, shadows are bad, we go with Henry.
Yeah, but there's no proof that the dwarves actually did it. Even though he arrived a week later, they could have easily just sent somebody ahead to plant that or whatever.
I kind of think that they're both shitty.
They are both shitty, so which one is going to pay us more?
Probably Henry.
Okay, sounds like I know who I'm voting for.
Well, let's weigh the positives and negatives. The worst thing Henry has done is manipulate people. The worst thing, allegedly, the Tongers have done is intentionally infect several miners, unintentionally cause a disease to expand outside of the mines, and presumably unintentionally kill several tens, maybe hundreds of people. I just answered that question for myself, didn't I?
So, Henry's preparing to do a genocide, and they've already done the genocide. So, do you want to do the people that have experience with the genocide, or do we want to join the person that's planning to gain experience at it? But could be really bad at it, we don't know yet.
This is what I love about crafting situations like this.
Honestly, I'm willing to go with Henry and accept that we're going to get backstabbed by the pretty lady from Dungeons and Dragons, just by the fact we're in Dungeons and Dragons, and probably get backstabbed by a bunch of freaky people with beards. Seriously, who the hell puts beards on women? DM.
I mean, there is PHB stuff to back up my stance, so...
But I still don't understand why
Sunny.
he would make my sister work. I don't understand why he would do
The
that.
PHB.
We really should have asked him about the mind control thing.
It just seemed like that. I don't know. It was a tense situation.
It sounds like an ends justify the means type thing.
But how did the end
How?
of Casa cleaning your floor all day, every day, justify any means? I mean, they do
Maybe.
have a lot of floor, but they could have gotten more slaves and treated Tassa better.
Maybe it was
Right?
an oversight. Maybe they forgot. Slipped through the cracks type thing.
But it's
Like,
they
whoops,
wanted to
I
work
slipped
Tassa
and
until he was
and put a
dead.
spell on someone to make them not be able to leave a property. Like, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. Exactly.
These
No,
things
I
happen.
think the Tungers made a mistake and they decided to feed that mistake, which is a bigger mistake. And I think that Henry is a deceptive little fucking bitch boy who should not be supported. I don't like either of them. Fuck. Maybe
But
we
think
should
of the
go.
profit.
I can't believe I'm saying this right now. But maybe we shouldn't even go to this wedding. Maybe we should go to Naban and fucking find that Chowdhury motherfucker and get him to take us to meet Abalakrai.
Okay, show of
Maybe
hands.
our
Who actually
answers
thinks
aren't
Ollie
here.
is not going to go to the wedding? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You can't be sure that Ollie hasn't now been corrupted in just an undiscernible manner. Because,
There was magic around that ring.
girl, you okay?
I'm fine. And like I want to go to the wedding, but I don't like all the pressure involved in the wedding. Like, you know, I feel like I'm like a maid of honor of either making this shit work or not.
No, I agree. I definitely agree.
I think there's only one option. We flip a coin.
Wait a second. Wait a second. What if? What?
Yeah, I've seen that page before.
What?
Doesn't count.
What if we
Sunny.
flip a coin?
Sunny, I just had a crazy freaking idea. What if we use...
You're not putting
whole-
Sunny in a dress.
No. No. What if we use the hold person spell on Underbarrow or Henry? And then I become Underbarrow for the wedding, and I marry the Dagmar daughter, and I am the ruler of Neglamund.
That's a great
Obviously,
idea.
with you guys as my advisors.
I don't see how that can backfire.
Kabor's with me.
So, what happens when the spell wears off and there's two underbarrels?
You just keep casting it.
And we're just over the barrel at that point?
Well, it's already said and done. I'm the one who married on Dagmar.
Doesn't the person have to be like a noble or something in order to do the marrying?
But I think it's just whoever's up there and says, I do, and...
They have rules against gay marriage around here, because I'm not entirely sure how that works.
Is it technically gay marriage if they're presenting and to all external examination look to be the opposite gender? To the other
Well, I mean, sooner
marriage
or
partner?
later, it's going... don't get me wrong, it's going to be
Here's the
straight
real
marriage when it
question.
happens.
Does it matter?
But knowing Ollie, sooner or later, it's going to be a gay marriage before it switches back again.
I'm fairly sure I put somewhere in the handout that people don't really give a shit about.
Yeah, remember
kind of
when
thing
we saw
anyway.
that? Yeah, we
Fair
saw
enough.
that gay couple, and like it was right after that great bitch flew over, and she melted off his husband's face. Yeah, gay marriage is all up in this bitch. Nobody
Okay.
cares.
Lena
Wait,
says
tend
gay
to be-
rights.
I mean,
And
how
I'm
do you,
just
how do you
remembering
prove which one is the
medieval
real
rules
one?
when it comes to thingamabobs.
You
I
can
can't
just,
remember every handout we've ever read.
just defend yourself and say you're the real one.
Yeah.
I am
and then
Brian
now I
and
know
so
I
enough
is
mean,
of
my
we're
the
playing in a
wife.
fantasy
backstory
world, not
to
the
do
real
it.
one here.
Say, I am Underbarrow from the fields of the groves of Grove, and grew up as a semi-noble, and I learned how wrong the nobility is, and it landed me in prison, and now I'm here to meet the
Be a
love of my
noble.
life, bang, Dagmar, and I'm gonna fucking do it, because I'm Underbarrow, and this is my assistant, the lovely Vola. Yeah, I could be Henry.
And then you can just have a dance-off to determine who the real one is.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why is everyone spamming gay shit at me? I'm talking fantasy worlds, not the real one.
Because why not?
You have to ask these things, otherwise you don't know.
Yeah, something this world is really difficult to survive in. As long as you participate in helping everyone else survive, no one cares what you want to be called or who you want to love.
Now see, that makes it sound like the straight thing would be the thing they'd enforce, because that produces more people.
And here we start getting into the concept of compulsory heterosexuality being a part of control of society as a whole, but that is the real world.
This is a world where they have dragons drool on people in public. I can see them enforcing this kind of thing.
I do enjoy. I do enjoy way back during that session when Kesu just placed like the hand on the like inconsolable like spouse and just went, it was their fate.
You know,
he was
actually the first time we
not
met
particularly
Casey.
happy.
I really should have just like plunged his charisma to like a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Sloane.
What is Kisu's charisma again? Oh yeah, he has a 12 in charisma, so he's like
Slightly
pretty
above average.
Yeah, he's like above average charismatic, but then he just walks up and with a 0 tact just goes, "Yeah, your spouse is dying to some random acid falling from the sky. That was fated. Get over it."
Like literally not even 2 seconds after it happened. Get over it. Have we reached
Moral of the
decision?
story: Kisu's an asshole.
I mean,
We haven't flipped the coin yet.
we
so.
haven't got nearly enough time to start with the wedding this session anyway.
Mm.
So we've got like a week to figure out which side are we taking.
It would be so cool if you don't tell me what side you guys are taking until the wedding.
It'd be cool if we knew what side we were taking. Actually.
True that.
So everyone wins, except us.
The way I understand it is that some of you see the pros and the cons of both sides.
Me as a person sees Henry as the better option. Henry has more people that can be friends, while the dwarves keep killing theirs off.
They did do that.
So I suppose Sunny would go with Henry because there's more people that can be friends. I mean, what's he done that we can't trust him for?
A lot of unexplainable stuff.
That's the beauty of friendship. Forgive and forget.
Sunny is good at one of those things.
I can't believe Ollie suggested not going to the wedding at all.
I know.
Just
I think they've been replaced with the doppelganger. They've been replaced with a shape-shifting doppelganger that's taken Ollie's form. Oh wait.
Inception.
But how would you
It's
even
just-
know?
yeah. Yeah.
She changes
It's just-
Yeah.
personalities as often as she changes form.
It's so freaking complicated, guys. Like,
Yeah, if you're going to kidnap and imitate a member of the party, the one that already swaps around shapes and forms and personalities is a pretty good one to go for.
yeah. The only thing I know is that we all have to be on the same page.
You have a book?
Except Kabor, because he will burn the book.
I can't
That's
read.
Casey.
Kabor? Kesu. Sorry, too many Ks. I had a feeling I said it wrong when I said it out loud.
Says
Yeah.
says Sunny next to Solas.
Yeah. Thank God Ollie and Arazid are
Hey,
distinct.
my defense, one of those is my name, so I'm good at remembering. Everyone else has had problems. But yeah, everyone needs to be on the same page except Kesu, who will literally burn the page we're on. Probably using Solas to do it. Like, using like some sort of giant matchstick.
Just slaps his head on the wall and he lights.
Is that Kesu just humming while he's going to ask Freya about her singlehood? Yeah, can we warp to Kesu? Yeah, can we warp to...
I'm bored of moral dilemma. Let's do a dating game instead.
Precisely. Precisely.
Ollie is kind of like sitting in the corner as the others are arguing over her, and she's like, oh god, this is so hard. I don't even want to go to the wedding anymore. I've already got this dress, but I don't want to go. I'm gonna go play matchmaker instead, and I assume she storms out.
Yeah.
Is she still Solas? Or
No,
have you two
Ollie's
like
way
swapped
back to Ollie.
equipment?
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff?
Oh, sorry.
Well, Em's got to answer the phone, so she will delay that storming out. Would Kesu ask Freya if she's single?
No, he doesn't care.
Good. I'm glad that Kesu understands what is and isn't appropriate in a workplace environment.
Okay, so like leave a note or something.
Yeah, well, where are you guys leaning right now?
Personally,
The issue is there's no
What's the chance we can go
consensus.
talk to Henry again?
I mean, we could talk to him at the wedding. Maybe.
Decide like during the wedding. It's like everybody goes to the side. It's like, okay, we're 3 minutes out before the plane's supposed to spring into action. What do we do?
That's honestly
I mean-
what's happened.
The good
What would happen if
college try.
Sollie were to just march up to the castle and go, hey, I want to have a quick word? How far would he get?
I mean, he would reason that from what Wan said, there's a good chance you'd probably be allowed in.
Because kinda need to ask about the mind control thing. I mean, most mind control spells are wisdom saves, and my wisdom is like needs to go higher.
I mean, okay. So you wanna talk again with Henry?
We're getting nowhere talking amongst each other. Just go talk to old friend, see if he's still old friend or if he's not friend.
And I think I heard something about one of you guys wanting to also talk to the Tungas again.
Did we?
Yeah,
Wait.
that's the wrong button. I pressed shift instead of control. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Is there a particular place that you guys would want to head to first, assuming that you would go as a group?
We could always split the party.
Hooray!
What are we doing?
Take a shot every time someone suggests splitting the party.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
We're all going to be dead of alcohol poisoning by the end of the week.
That wasn't an instruction, Em.
I just got here.
Why don't we
Yes,
just
very
ask them
close.
to both send a representative, meet us on neutral ground, and then both representatives try to convince us to work for them by offering us lavish gifts, payment.
But wouldn't that at some point result in us revealing that we are working for, like, both sides?
We're not working for either side yet, really.
Well, the Tungas, I'm pretty sure, think we're working with them.
But they haven't paid us at all. They didn't even
Yeah,
pay us
we
for
need
removing
payment
that
up front.
Leviathan thing. Or, not Leviathan, Tentacula.
Yeah, so I don't think that's fair of them.
They paid us in food.
Eh,
Cucumber
Cucumber
sandwiches?
sandwiches.
that's not enough for me personally.
Yeah, I just defeated my own point so hard it became a negative.
Cucumber sandwiches, yes, the best payment.
Flashbacks to when I worked at a very upper middle class golf club, and cucumber sandwiches were one of the more popular sandwich items.
Ugh.
Ooh.
People don't even know how to sandwich.
Did you know?
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
I mean, I can see,
So
I
many
can
other
see,
good options.
something nice and relaxing that you make on your own on during a warm summer day. But why would you go to someplace and order one?
And they were like £7 for literally just a couple of slices of just regular white ass bread with just some regular butter and cucumber, which you can make at home for £1.
That's like half of my dog's chew toy right there.
Right.
Yeah, that's just no.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm getting the sense you guys want to head to the Tunga Manor first.
I think we shouldn't meet them in their own place because they may detain us.
Maybe I should go ask Brightsteel what he thinks. He seems like a pretty smart guy, pretty level-headed, nice to look at.
Which one was Bright still?
Brightsteel is the armorer who looks like Jason Momoa.
In your mind only.
In my mind only.
Oh, the guy in the market area.
Yeah. I mean, he's had some dealings with Underbarrow, stealing all of his weapons for the war effort. You know, maybe he'll have some ideas towards this.
It sounds like he's already biased, though.
Well, I guess. But, okay. So I guess that is what I'm trying to reiterate. We know that Henry is a massive dick. Do we know that the Tungers are massive dicks as well?
Yes.
It's the ultimate question of, do you take the enemy you know or the enemy you don't?
A tale of two
So
dicks.
maybe we are thinking about this all wrong. Maybe we should go up to the Hall of Records, talk to Kendall, and get in with the frickin' Diamond Foots. Maybe we need a halfling majority in this town.
Well, maybe for the majority, but they're also kind of assholes.
Yes. But Arazid, I mean, you've got family history with those assholes.
It's not like I know them, though.
I know, but it's kind of like if I see another changeling, there's kind of a thing where we're like, hey, look at you, you changey. I'd assume it's the same for halflings.
Please tell me that's canon now.
Changey.
Hey, you gonna
Is that like a slur?
Oh,
Am I not allowed to say that, but you can? What's going on here?
You're right. You're absolutely right. No one else say changey. That's a changeling thing.
So what? You just walk up looking like each other and go, "Hi, I'm you. Glad to meet thee."
Well, that is the funnest way to do it, but not particularly common.
One of these days, I want to be able to do that with myself for real. I saw it in a
You've got
children's
your friend
newspaper
multiplier. Just set up the
decades
friend
ago, and I've wanted
multiplier
to do
by
it ever
the side of the
since.
bed.
No, I mean real world me. Saw that in a children's newspaper decades ago, and I've always wanted to do it.
There was a tale of a set of triplets that were separated from one another at birth and eventually found each other at age 17. There's a documentary about it on Netflix called Three Perfect Strangers. Worth a watch.
Oh, that's really cool.
Huh.
Is there a consensus?
I wanna ask Henry about the mind control thing, and I think that'll one insight check later will probably determine which way I'm going.
I think we should talk to Henry first as well.
Okay. 2 for Henry. Any
We're
opposing
voting.
desires?
I think we should go to the. I think we should try to find Isolde.
I maintain that we should meet them on neutral ground and then have them make an offer to us.
I think Isolde could set up that neutral ground.
Hmm.
And Isolde also didn't seem like she was particularly impressed with her employers, so I don't know, maybe we could adopt her or something.
We'd have to be able to employ her.
I don't know,
I gotta
maybe
go
we
to
could be your
college.
parents or something.
Should I go back into hell plus for you, baby?
Never
No.
again.
As old as a little baby. She already been born and all grown up. We're so proud of her.
So we got 2 to find Isolde and talk to the Tungas on a neutral ground. I assume that those who want to talk to Henry do also want to talk to the Tungas after.
Yeah.
pretty sure we'll be going to-
Probably.
yeah, if we have the chance, we'll go to both places. But it's just who we go to first.
Henry's probably the easier, as we don't really need a neutral ground. We just march
Yeah.
straight in there and talk to him.
Would you guys like to do that now?
Yeah, why not?
No.
I mean, we have to use those inspirations before the session's over anyway.
Roll those beautiful insight checks.
Okay.
Oh god, it's the big map, isn't it? No, it's your okay map.
Going.
Yeah, thank you for that, Casey.
Solas is still getting dresses, clothes, whatever.
That should be all controllable by you. So I assume that the 5 of you head off and demand to speak with Henry.
Well,
Yeah.
ask nicely. Have some standards.
The real question is, how long has Kesu been at the hospital fighting? Well, you all decide that you want to go to the manor and speak.
Holy shit, Casey's
Yeah.
gonna be a one-man army against those hypnotized zombies.
Look, all I have to do is stun you. And then from there, I can probably one-shot a lot of people.
And I will have to do a lot of one-shots after that. When Casey will be the only member left of the party who's not aligned with Henry.
I have 47 backup characters, I'll be fine.
I assume that when that Kesu kind of relieves Freya, allows her to go sleep, and kind of keeps watch on what is now just mostly like regular cases that come through.
Yeah, he'll do whatever. If specifically though, he's going to talk to Freya and start looking for anybody who is let me see what I can cure now. He's gonna look for people who are blind or deaf.
Ooh.
Could you
Casey's getting
look
into
for
some
a
thievery.
ring on Freya's finger? Could you
I asked that while you were answering the phone. If you want to know, ask yourself.
It's not Keisu's business to know.
I'm so mad.
Would you want your like random co-worker that never comes to like work on time, just sets his own hours, to just be like, "Hey baby, you single?"
I mean, I guess in Freya's situation, she has no support ever. He's a brilliant doctor who is able to to help people with their black lung affliction. You know, she probably thinks that this bandaged bitch is pretty cute. Like, you
He
know.
wears a mask.
Yeah, he wears a mask and cloak and has bandages on his entire body.
You can
She's
still be
into
cute.
your
It's a
business.
metaphor.
And
works
she's
in a hospital.
into
She has
that
low
'cause
standards.
She's a nurse. She's like, I'm gonna get you all better, baby. Then I'm gonna take off those bandages and see what I've been working with this whole time. I guess how I see it.
That sounds like one of those shitty romance plots I might end up writing for this new job.
Woo! But basically, Kesu, this isn't about you. It's about Victor. Nut up and ask
Who?
her.
Who?
Victor,
Who?
Chris, man, that was grandson.
Who?
Grandson.
my grandson.
Who?
Adopted.
Oh god, yes! Wait, were you there for that?
He was not.
Oh,
Who?
Do you not watch the YouTube videos?
I'm like halfway through the last one. I got busy getting my own game ready.
Victor. Just ask for Victor. You don't need to know who he is. You're gonna find out someday.
No, because specifically Ollie asked. He's suspicious.
Victor is a sweet, sweet, sweet boy. I said if I died, I'm gonna come back as Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got like maximum 10 minutes left. Let's do a
That's
little
like
wiggle
9.
on. You guys, you know, I'm actually thinking it might be best to leave role-playing confronting Henry to next week, so you guys don't feel like you have like a time constraint of
Yeah.
roleplay here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think we'll leave
I'm
it
okay
there,
with that.
actually.
I'm also
Wait,
very hungry,
wait.
so-
Wait,
Yes?
there's more.
I would like to talk to Tassa with my stone.
Okay. Oh, hey,
I'm
cuz.
gonna give her a little mental update that we're on our way to confront Underbarrel, and that I hope that she's safe and happy.
God, I just realized next level. I actually would have been like the best person to go like confront anybody who can charm because I can just use a key point to end. Or no, I can just my action. I forgot Monk at 7 level is ridiculous.
Monk's just ridiculous in general at high levels.
Yeah, monks
And they
are
get shit on
ridiculous
a
at
lot.
low levels.
Yeah. Stillness's mind is so dumb,
Every now
and I also
then,
get evasion.
Arazid,
This is
you've
what I
been-
mean.
Excuse me? Give it 2 minutes, guys. Every now and then, Arazid, you've been like talking to your sister through the sending stones. And she seems a little bit more like worried today. There have been some people who have been like passing by the cave a bit more often than usual. Aegis says it's like it's not a thing to worry about, but I'm worrying. I'm worrying, brother. They're like all heading
Well,
to the
just-
city.
Oh, that's probably for the wedding. That's nothing to worry about. It's just people are coming up into the city for a wedding. So there's nothing, they're not gonna like harass you or anything.
They're really scary looking. There's this one woman who's like, she's like all red. And she's got like these big horns.
Oh fuck.
Oh boy.
What,
Just
what do you
stay
mean, oh
inside
boy? What
of
do you mean,
the
oh boy?
I just, nothing, it's nothing to worry about. You're gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine. I'll come see you soon in person, and you'll see that it was nothing to worry about.
Okay. I love you, brother. Take care.
I love you so much. Take care of yourself. Do not leave if you feel unsafe. Just wait for what Aegis says.
Okay, okay.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye. He hangs up the fucking phone. You know, because it's like a phone.
He hangs up the stone. Alright, yeah, we'll leave it there for this week. Thank you, guys.
So Tassa had to hear all of your unclean thoughts about Brightsteel and Grimsby.
All right.
She
No
was
way.
right on the side.
We